AstraZeneca vaccine rollout to be expanded beyond Klang Valley. Government malls setting up field hospitals in Kelantan and Sarawak. Hello and good evening. Thanks for joining us. You're watching News at 10 with me, Muhammad Amin Carlos. Well, about 40% of senior citizens have received their vaccine shots since the commencement of the National COVID-19 Immunization Program, or PICK, Phase 2 on 19th April. And PICK Coordinating Minister Khairi Jamaluddin said this brings the total number of recipients in the second phase to 203,871.
Semua negeri telah pun memulakan vaksinasi terhadap warga emas dan dia ikut umur. Kita mula dengan warga emas yang lebih tua dan sekarang ini dia mula turun, ya. Jadi sebagai contoh di negeri Selangor saya difahamkan dah masuk usia 70-an, mula 90-an, 80-an, sekarang ini dah mula pada 70-an. It's going well, progressing well.
Khairi said all vaccine recipients received their shots in 60 vaccination centres or PPVs nationwide. Meanwhile, the minister has defended Malaysia's current vaccination rates, attributing it to income shipments of vaccine supplies and not due to possible vaccine hoarding. Dispelling claims of low vaccination rates amongst the population, Khairi said Malaysia has a 75% vaccine utilisation rate of all incoming COVID-19 vaccines, involving a total of 1.5 million people. Well, meanwhile, Khairi said the government will continue with the distribution of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine on a voluntary basis in the future. Well, he said this comes following the success of its first opt-in application rollout yesterday, when all 268,800 slots were filled within just 3 hours.
Going forward, in designing the further rollout of the AstraZeneca program, opt-in program, we will take into account people who are unable to access the website, and we will reach out to our community clinics to ensure that we can offer this on a voluntary basis to people.
For future rollouts of the AstraZeneca vaccine, Khairi said Malaysia was expecting the arrival of some 1.1 million doses this month via the COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access, or COVAX. This is followed by another 610,000 doses from AstraZeneca itself in June, 410,000 doses in July, and 1.2 million doses in August and September, respectively. Well, a total of 13 new COVID-19 clusters related to interstate travel activities were detected since April. In a joint press conference with PICK Coordinating Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, Health Minister Dato' Seri Dr. Adam Baba, well, they said this interstate travel ban is still implemented until 17 May, adding that further announcement on the matter will be made soon. According to the minister, clusters related to interstate travel activities included Sabu cluster in Kedah, Taman Malim Jaya cluster in Melaka, Jalan Gapang cluster in Negeri Sembilan, and some others, with all sources of infection reported to be from other states. He said there are also a case of the South African variant detected in the Bunut Sarang Burung cluster in Kelantan.
Untuk sub-cluster kategori ataupun kategori sub-cluster community, berdasarkan daripada jumlah kes yang kita perolehi, dia datang daripada kontak rapat atau kontak keluarga. Ada yang berlaku di majlis kebumian, majlis perayaan, majlis perkahwinan, sambutan perayaan, majlis kesyukuran, majlis tunangan juga direkodkan, dan juga banjir. Selain daripada apa yang berlaku di Sarawak, iaitu aktiviti yang berlaku di rumah panjang seperti gotong royong, aktiviti perkebumian dan juga aktiviti kemasyarakatan.
On a related matter, Dato' Seri Dr. Adam said the ministry is in talks with the Defence Ministry on the setting up of field hospitals in Kelantan and Sarawak. The Health Minister said there is a need to set up the field hospitals to accommodate non-COVID-19 related cases so that the burden of the hospitals dealing with COVID-19 patients could be reduced. On the mobilization of additional personnel to deal with COVID-19, Dato Sri Dr. Adham said some 8,000 personnel from other ministries had been mobilized since 11 January to assist the Health Ministry. Apart from that, he said MOH has obtained approval to have 11,000 more staff in all disciplines in the ministry.
Untuk waktu yang terkini, Sarawak dan juga Kelantan, kita telah mobilize hampir 800 petugas ke Sarawak, dan untuk Kelantan kita telah pun membuat deployment dalaman ataupun di mana pergigian iaitu di mana petugas-petugas daripada Jabatan Pergigian digunakan, dan juga kita telah pun menggunakan pelatih-pelatih ataupun petugas-petugas di ILKKM iaitu Institut Latihan Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, yang mana mereka juga expert dalam menguruskan kes-kes COVID-19 di ward-ward kritikal dan ICU.
Well, meanwhile, the capacity of the COVID-19 low-risk quarantine and treatment centres, or PKRCs, and hospital facilities in Kelantan has reached a critical level due to the rising number of daily COVID-19 cases that have reached 3 digits over the past 2 weeks. Well, Kelantan Local Government Housing and Health Committee Chairman Dr. Izani Hussain said the 6 existing PKRCs in the state could not accommodate the rising number of COVID-19 patients. Speaking at a press conference after the special meeting of the State Security Council Committee, JKKN, in Kota Baru today, Dr. Izani said to resolve the matter, the state government has agreed to open a field hospital at the Padang Perdana site, in addition to 1 PKRC at the Kelantan Trade Centre that could accommodate 1,000 patients.
Bayangkan, penyakit-penyakit kritikal ICU terpaksa kita push dalam ward biasa. Ini keadaan yang sangat membimbangkan bagi kita di Kelantan. Dan oleh kerana HIO, House Isolation Order ini tidak berkesan, oleh kerana rumah-rumah ni yang boleh kata lebih 60%, 70% tidak sesuai untuk dijadikan HIO, maka keputusan terbaru hari ini kita akan bina field hospital. Ini menunjukkan keadaan yang begitu kritikal.
On the spread of the South African variant B.1.351, which was also detected in Kelantan, Dr. Izani said it was believed to be due to interstate travel of its people who returned to the state after attending a wedding in Kuala Lumpur. He also urged all quarters, including the people of Kelantan, travellers as well as the VIPs, to refrain from making interstate travel unless there are important matters. Well, 18 victims have succumbed to the coronavirus as of noon today, raising the COVID-19 death toll in the country to 1,551. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said the number of patients admitted to the intensive care unit had also increased to 352, while 186 patients were on ventilator support. Now, in a statement, Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham said the country also logged 2,500 new infections today, as Selangor continues to lead with 637 positive cases, followed by Sarawak 356 and Johor with 205 cases. He also said that 2,068 recoveries were reported overnight, while the active cases stood at 30,753. Meanwhile, the Health DG said 9 new clusters were identified today, 3 each involving the community and workplace clusters, 2 education clusters and 1 at a detention centre. The Higher Education Ministry has assured that interstate movements of students going back to their hometowns for Hari Raya Aidil Fitri festive season from 7th May are safe and under control. Its Director General, Professor Dato Dr. Hussaini Omar, said all students will undergo health screening before being allowed to begin their journey.
Bila kita kata kalau balik ke kampung tu, balik ke rumah keluarga saja. Jadi sebelum nak balik tu memang saringan dibuat, saya makan dibuat ke atas pelajar tadi, saya makan juga dibuat ke atas pelajar tadi dengan keluarga dia. Maksudnya keluarga dia tu dalam keadaan sihat ke tidak. Tapi kalau keluarga dia dalam keadaan yang tidak sihat dan sebagainya, kita tidak benarkan dia balik. Mana kita benarkan dia berada di kampus lah.
Professor Dato Dr. Hussaini also reminded students returning to their hometowns or staying in campus to report their health condition, especially if they have any symptoms of COVID-19. Well, only cargo flights were permitted to and from India since 28th April. Now, Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said since that date, Malaysia Airlines Berhad or MAB passenger flights from and to India had been prohibited from entering Malaysia, and this was following a National Security Council meeting chaired by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin. Well, in response to allegations of MAB flights from India being allowed to enter Malaysia, Datuk Seri Dr. Wee, in a statement today, said the MH designated flight details which had gone viral were all cargo-only flights. And he said converting passenger flights to cargo-only flights had been a practice for many months now due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And he also said the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAAM Mas Cargo, a cargo arm of MAB, and the Malaysian Aviation Commission, MAVCOM, could also corroborate these facts. Datuk Seri Dr. Wee said he had also organised a virtual meeting and personally communicated with all stakeholders based on the outcome of the National Security Council meeting with regards to flights from India. Coming up, Dubai Expo to boost Malaysia-UAE ties. Well, Malaysia has established itself as one of the most trade-friendly countries in the world, exporting a competitive range of products and services to more than 200 countries and territories around the world. The Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, MATRADE, in a statement said the country is today an integral part of the global supply chain. Well, in 2019, Malaysia was recognized as the world's 25th trading nation and 26th largest exporter and importer in 2019 by the World Trade Organization, the WTO. Well, MATRADE said Malaysia has also ensured that it has kept up with the rapidly transforming technologies utilized in the global trade, commerce and financial sectors. The agency said Malaysian electrical and electronics or E&E companies are leading players globally, with a significant amount of all electronics exports being contributed by semiconductor devices, integrated circuits or ICs, as well as transistor and valves. The information and communications technology, the ICT, is another important sector for Malaysian exports. Malaysia is also recognized as one of the most developed chemical countries in the world, supplying a variety of products, including polymers of ethylene, methanol and saturated polyesters. In addition, the country's construction and professional services sector has established itself as a major global player, having completed a variety of projects abroad. MATRADE said other major areas of export include Malaysia's vibrant fashion industry, healthcare services and franchising. Malaysia has proposed for more collaboration with the United Arab Emirates Pavilion at the rescheduled Expo 2020 Dubai, which will now run from 1st October this year to 31st March 2022, as the country aims to amass trade and investment worth 10 billion ringgit from the upcoming Expo. Well, Senior Minister cum the International Trade and Industry Minister, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali, well, he said the collaboration could be on areas such as business matching, social programs, seminars, and exchange of invitation as speakers or audiences. Well, in a statement today, he said the Malaysia Pavilion is set to attract the participation of 300 Malaysian companies and 5,000 delegates for Malaysia's trade and business programs. The minister said it is essential for Malaysia to put a value proposition which is able to elevate its advantages in future technology and science, conducive investment and business environment, as well as numerous opportunities in the new and emerging economic sectors such as financial technology, Industry 4.0, Eco-Industrial Park and renewable energy. And according to Datuk Seri Azmin, the Expo would play a pivotal role in promoting Malaysia's strength as a trade and investment hub for businesses in the West Asia, North Africa and South Asia region and beyond. Well, Tan Sri Abdul Hamid Bador bowed out as Inspector General of Police today, handing over the reins of the nation's top cop to Datuk Seri Akhril Sani Abdullah Sani at the Bukit Aman Senior Officers Mess. It was witnessed by Deputy Home Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Muhammad Said. Well, Dato' Sri Akhril Sani will assume the role effective tomorrow. Well, his appointment has received the consent of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah on the advice of Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and the recommendation of the Police Commission. Dato' Sri Akhril Sani, 59, was appointed the Deputy IGP last August, replacing Dato' Mazlan Mansour, who retired after 41 years of service. He had previously led the Commercial Crime Investigation Department, the Strategic Resources and Technology Department and the Crime Prevention and Community Safety Department at Bukit Aman. Home Minister Dato' Sri Hamzah Zainuddin meanwhile also congratulated Dato' Sri Akhril Sani on his appointment, adding that he was confident the new IGP would be able to effectively carry out his responsibilities based on his vast experience within the force. Kelantan State Assembly Speaker Dato' Abdullah Yaakob today declared the Malore State seat vacant following the death of its incumbent Dr. Mad Yusnan Yusof on 30th April. Dato' Abdullah made the declaration after receiving Mad Yusnan's death certificate, which was verified by the National Registration Department.
Maka insyaAllah SU Dewan, Setiausaha Dewan akan melakukan serahan tangan pada hari ini kepada pengarah SPR Negeri Kelantan memaklumkan secara resmi kekosongan kerusi tersebut. Terserahlah kepada SPR sama ada nak mengadakan pilihan raya ataupun tidak.
Dato' Abdullah said according to Article 46, subsection 5 of the first part of Kelantan State Constitution, where there is a seat vacancy in the State Assembly, he will have to inform or send an official letter to notify the Election Commission, the EC. He noted that EC needs to fill the vacancy within 60 days of receiving the notification. Dr. Mad Yusnan died of a heart attack at his home in Malore last Friday. He had held the Malore State seat for 2 terms after winning it in the 13th and 14th general elections. And that concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, AstraZeneca vaccine rollout to be expanded beyond Klang Valley. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Amin Carlos. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.